Hello, people, distinguished people here in New York City with my lady Tiffany. It's pretty bittersweet because I was in this insane prison in the 1980s. From within and without, I see Robert Brooks. I also see
It's all over. Maybe you should.
many others
One thing they saying up here,
like him.
the county executive.
The good thing is today we have video. We have the Trayvon Martin out. You
We got the
know,
reporters right in they mammy,
you have
they daddies, and they aunts, they uncles, they
George Floyd. You have others that have been victimized by the same dogs and the same pigs. I'm gonna give it raw, because that's what you need. You don't need to sugarcoat nothing out here. You know what I'm saying? By these same individuals, they're the same. Whether you're a correction officer or you're a police officer, they're the same. If you're not upholding the law, then you're breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. It used to be a show back in New York City called That's the Way It Is. So, you know, we out here supporting. Now, the world get to see, you know, if you let somebody else tell your narrative, they're not going to get it straight. You know, now you're seeing that we're not the victims, they're the victims. You know, what better way for a racist to get his shit off than work in a place like this? You're unchecked. You get to do what you want to do. And the public doesn't know. They only think you're in there being disruptive, being violent, but the violence being committed against you. Thank you, people.
Thank you for sharing.
Hello everybody, my name is Julian Segura. I'm from Sugar Hill in Harlem. Took a nice trip over here, out to Marcy. Feels kind of like the middle of nowhere, kind of a very sad place, where a lot of sad things went down. And Robert Brooks, that tragedy, that is no exception to that. At the end of the day, I'm a political person, you know, I'm an activist. I show up for a lot of things, I fight for a lot of stuff. But prisons, that entire system, from the time that I was very young, I had a lot of aunties that were COs and told me about, you know, their job and some of the struggles, right, of being in that position. But they always upheld their character and treated people with dignity, right? And obviously what happened to Robert was very, very far from treating people with dignity. At the end of the day, the entire system, the culture of that profession has degenerated to a point where what happened to Robert is unfortunately part of the standard of how they treat people. And you can close all the prisons you want, you can open all the prisons you want, you're not going to change the core of the system and the culture of the work that leads to these horrific, unjust outcomes. And what I'm out here to really profess to everyone is to fight for a rethought system, to fight for a prison system that is focused on rehabilitation. What's the right word? My stepfather, my mother's first husband, he became a lawyer in jail. You know, I didn't know this until 2 days ago. Right? But the fact of the matter is, we used to have a prison system that had more focus on rehabilitation. No matter how violent, no matter how many gangs, no matter what the COs did, people actually walked out with an education. We have all the opportunity, all the funding in the world, in New York State, to push the prison system towards something that is rehabilitative, that is positive, that is not leading to people being extrajudicially murdered and lynched like Robert Brooks, rest in peace. I appreciate you all for being out here, and thank you for being out here.
Hi folks, I'm Cassandra Harris Lockwood. I'm CEO of Phoenix Radio and also for the Good Incorporated, a 501c3 up here. And I want to welcome you to Marcy, where there's more to Marcy than this prison and that psych center up there. I grew up in Marcy. My family's been here since 1954. My father was one of the first black aerospace engineers for General Electric. My mother was one of the first registered nurses in this area. and I want to welcome you, and I want to thank you for your solidarity, because, you know, I've been having my foot in the door, waiting for you to all come up here, okay? Because we need some help.
That's right. And we here.
All right, we need some help up here,
We are
okay?
here.
We got a radio station that's struggling, man, but we're still on the air. And you're going to be on the air this afternoon. I believe that. Are you?
No, I'm not going to be on that. Did I just turn this thing off?
Hello. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, I want to say that slavery ended in 1827 in New York State, and New York State fast-footed it to establishing the first apartheid in the United States. Okay. The separation of black people and white people, superior, white institutions, and left the scrapings for black folks. And it's been a struggle up here ever since, and it is part of the culture. And it's understood that when I heard all of the brothers that were speaking at the rally on Saturday, it became clear to me that they are all Robert Brooks. All Robert Brooks, but we did not die. I want to say I got beat up by a cop when I was a college student back in 1972. So I'm Robert Brooks and I did not die, okay? And that's something that this brutality among our people is perpetuated since the time of slavery. And there's a brother, a professor at Utica University by the name of Dr. Clemmy Harris, and he was the first one that I know of that tagged this as a modern day lynching. And one of the things that I want to say about that is, and it's disgusting, but it's a chain that runs through from slavery. When they would lynch a brother, they would always mutilate his genitalia. Okay? This brother was mutilated, okay? The autopsy report talks about how his scrotum and his penis were, what did they say, David? Macerated. But anyway, when you see a picture of a lynched black man, they always put a drape over his body because they're ashamed of what they did. But they could not get away from, they can't deny it, and they can't in any way justify what they did to this man. And it happens again and again and over, and it's a straight line from slavery, and we need to legislate our way out of this, because they're not going to change until they become accountable for the change.
Lock them up.
All right.
Where is the arrest?
All right, well, anyway, yes, so we're going to end this. I just want to thank everybody for coming up here, and I'm looking forward to establishing the solidarity and working with the folks from downstate and across the state. Thank you.
Say his name. Let's go this way. Say his name. We're going to be going to Marcy Town Hall next. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name.
Robert Brooks! Say his name! 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 Robert Brooks! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Now! Say his name! Robert Brooks! 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 Robert Brooks! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! Thursday! Robert Brooks! Thursday! Robert Brooks! Thursday! Robert Brooks! Thursday! Robert Brooks! Thursday! Robert Brooks!